What's going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome back to another post-commentary duel video. So here we got Phantom Knight Burning Abyss versus Buster Blader, but it's a bit of a different twist on Buster Blader. And you'll see what I mean by that when we get into some of these later duels. It's a very, very different variant of Buster Blader than most of you are probably used to seeing. And it's very, very unique and has a very, very amazing play style. And I'm glad to be able to show that to you guys in this video. And we will be having a deck profile up on the channel of this deck, of this Buster Blader deck, coming soon, as well as Subterrors and Spirals. So be looking forward to that, as well as most of the other regularly updated deck profiles. So BA will be going first, opening up strong with a Lure of Darkness, banishing, it looks like Calcab. Summoning up Barbar there. Going into a Beatrice first turn off that Dante. Terratop getting milled. Looks like he was banishing, I think, 2 cards there for Barbar. Burn for 600 damage. A good first turn start. Not too bad. We're going to see Terraforming come down, adding Mausoleum of White. Some Blue Eyes cards do, in fact, have synergy with Buster Blader, Mausoleum of White being one of those cards. And same with Sage. Sage searching level 1 Light Tuner, which does search your Buster Whelp. I think Buster Whelp is a level 1 Light Tuner. It might be Earth, though. Could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's a Light. So plenty of synergy there. We'll see Tour Guide going for Farfa. Very, very good. Because at this point, you could go into Dante or Breaksword, but I mean, Dante would probably be most proficient. He does have the Beatrice still to send a card from deck to grave, any card at all. He's going to send the Cloak. That Cloak is going to banish itself to add a Phantom Knight from deck to hand. And then we'll see the Dante add back. I think that was a Seer. Dante being made out of a Cloak and a Silent Boots. Milling a Silent Boots, adding a Fog Blade to hand, so it's a pretty explosive turn. Leviair. He'll be able to swing in, I think, for probably game or pretty close to game. Unfortunately, not too much the Buster Blader player can do there. Probably most likely because of a bad hand. Now, I know I did say it plays quite differently, and by quite differently, I don't mean completely horrible. We will be able to showcase what the deck can do. See him open up Brilliant Fusion. One of the key starting cards for most decks, I would say, that are kind of different than normal. A lot of rogue decks utilizing Brilliant Fusion. I guess you could argue Monarch's not one of those rogue decks, but Synchro Fusion is this deck. Cyber Angels can abuse it. It's a very splashable thing that allows for a lot of crazy play. But I do like it in the game, and I think it should stay in the game because it does give a lot of other decks a chance to play and compete against some meta decks. We'll see Instant Fusion setting the Buster Whelp there, and yep, that is definitely a level 1 Light Tuner, so yes, you can search that with Sage. We'll see him go not 1 for 1, Where Art Thou, which is basically if you control a level 1 or a level 1 monster, you can add a level 1, but if that monster is not normal summon during the end phase, or by the time the end phase rolls around, you will take 2,000 points of damage, but you'll be able to normal summon that because of Brilliant Fusion and Seraphinite. Be able to search off that, I think adding another copy of Buster Whelp. Synchroing for a level 5, going in for Cell. Cell sending Jet, bumping up his level, or by bumping up by 1 or decreasing by 1. We'll see him synchro for 6. Charge Warrior. Looks like he did increase his level by 1 because he's going to go into Zulkin here. After getting that free draw, hoping he drew into something he could set, or perhaps open a card that he could set during this turn to get the effect of Zulkin off. Now, one of the main synergies is that this sort of Synchro Fusionist aspect has with the Buster Blader engine is because Zulkin can enable you to help summon out easily to summon out your Buster Dragon, which can sometimes be hard to do in a single turn, because the deck is able to pump out the Fusion Buster Blader monster pretty easily, but the same cannot be said for the Synchro, because sometimes you have a hard time, you know, going for the Synchro and the Fusion the same turn, because you burn through so many resources. But the Brilliant Fusion engine, the Draw Power engine through the Charge Warrior, which I think he does play 2 copies of, helps you get to make these extra plays, so you get more of an established board on top of just your Fusion monster, which doesn't really do too much on its own. Of course, you do have Destruction Sword Flash, and that card is absolutely amazing for the deck and offers a lot of defense. But you do need the Fusion for that. So we'll summon out Buster Blader through the Buster Welt, setting 1 card, discarding Destruction Sword Memories to the grave. A decent card to discard. Special summoning that Jet Synchron, which should be banished, although I won't think it matters, because I don't think he ends up summoning it again by its effect, of course. So yeah, he banishes it there. Just wanted to double check to make sure he would banish it. So he ends his turn with Buster Dragon, Stardust Spark, Buster Blader, Zulkin, a set card. Now he does, I think, have the option to summon out one of the baby Buster Dragons from his grave to equip it to a Buster Blader, but I don't think he has the right one in his graveyard, the one that will lock your opponent out from summoning from the extra deck, which is kind of unfortunate, because that would probably have sealed the game, being able to protect it with the Stardust Spark Dragon. Milling absolutely garbage off of that Dante. Not a whole heck of a lot he can do. I think he milled 2 Terratops. Well, not milled one, detached one after going for the Terratop Tekenborg combo. Milling a Rhoda, a Solemn Strike, and another Terratop. So Dante not too effective. If he does have some Burning Abyss monsters in his hand, he can make some more plays in the form of a Dante. Although it's going to be pretty hard to crack that field. If he was able to get the Fusion out, it would pretty much seal the deal also, because he'd be able to, of course, turn all of his monsters into Dragon types. Luckily, Dante is generic, or else it would have ended the game there as well. We'll overlay into Beatrice to beat Rice, discarding Libic to obviously summon Beatrice, and then Libic will summon out Barbar. Barbar will not die because of his effect. It is negated by Libic. Now we're going to see a pretty awesome play here. Destruction Sword Flash, sucking up the Beatrice after it is turned into a Dragon type by Buster Dragon, and he'll fuse with that and Buster Blader for the Destruction Swordsman Master. The amazing looking fusion card. And now he definitely has the game on lock, because all Dragon type monsters' effects are currently negated, I think, on his opponent's side of the field. And it's gaining, I think, 500 attack and defense for each dragon on his field and in grave. And I'm pretty sure Buster Dragon is turning them all into Dragon types, so if that's the case, it has a lot of attack. And of course, the Stardust Spark adding nicely as defense. He'll normal summon a Cloak, go for a Grand Pulse, and set one. Really hoping for the defense there, just to be his saving grace, because the popping back row effect cannot be used during either player's turn right now, as he does not have a blue layer underneath it. Can only be used to pop back row during his turn, so obviously not too effective. He's going to use Buster Dragon to special summon the Buster Blader. As you can see, this build is working absolutely flawlessly. Going into number 38 with the Stardust Spark. Setting another one, going for Crystal Wing. Absolutely incredible what this build can do. And it's amazing to see the Buster Blader engine being able to do that. It surprises me that once you have that Buster Dragon on field, since you can bring it out through Zolkin, it allows you to do so much more by setting that fusion. The fusion spell card, which is a quick play, thank God, allows for this aggressive play style. Sort of like a super poly, basically. You can suck up your opponent's monster so long as you can keep that Buster Blader on your field. And it was a good plus that he had the Stardust Spark to protect it in order to do that super poly-esque play, which ended up ultimately winning the game. We'll see Dante and Grand Pulse there. A Foolish Burial. Not going to go for Grand Pulse. Waiting on the Foolish Burial, milling 2 Twin Twisters. That is kind of unfortunate. Going for Dante instead. Looks like he has a Cloak. I think that will search a Fog Blade. Now, opting to go first here is, I think, a good idea because you can search Fog Blades to help negate stuff, which is going to be most beneficial because I think negation is going to be key against this deck to help stop it. Because he did lose pretty hard last game to a strong turn 1 board. Essentially, I think that's what it was. Just not being able to crack that first turn field. So if he can give himself an advantage by getting a strong first turn field, he'll definitely be able to turn things around and probably win this game and in turn winning the match. So we'll add the Fog Blade, and then he will Foolish. So not adding Fog... Okay, he's going to add Fog Blade. Sending a Silent Boots and adding a Cloak, I think, is what happened there. So we'll set the Fog Blade. Double Dante, set Fog Blade. See the Emblem of Destruction, or the Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer, I think. Whatever it's called. Basically just add Buster Blader from deck to hand. Sage with Eyes of Blue. Getting negated with Fog Blade, okay. It's good though, he did bait out the negation. Sword Flash, Maxi, Blue Eyes, and Buster Blader. So it's a bit of a Blue Eyes Buster Blader build. Not sure what I want to call this deck yet. He said Blue Eyes Buster Blader. I kind of want to call it Buster Blader Turbo. I don't know. It's pretty turbo. We'll be able to beat over that Dante, no problem. The one issue that I have with the fusion is he can't attack directly, which kind of sucks sometimes. But I guess it's fair in a sense. I don't know. And there's so much synergy between Blue Eyes and Buster Blader, which is kind of funny because I think the two decks are built, you know, to fight against each other, but yet they work so well together as a whole, which I think is kind of funny. So he needed to borrow a Dante. It's the third one, because it doesn't want to look like a scrub and not have two. He was rebuilding his Phantom Knight deck, and ended up playing it at a box tournament and did pretty well with it. Dante and Levier. Levier reviving one of the Phantom Knight monsters. Gonna go into a Break Sword. Gonna go for the rank 4 play, popping Sage. Assuming out 2 more Phantom Knights at level 4. That Break Sword play is absolutely disgusting. And now he's getting himself in a winning position where he's going to steal the attack of the I think it's the Buster Blader Destruction Sword Master, but I think it's going to be negated by its effect, so he won't be able to do that. So he has to go in F-Zero. I think F-Zero is his only out, so he'll take it with F-Zero till the end of the turn and swing in with Dark Rebellion and Levier. So that ended up being a problem for him, not taking into account of the fact that his fusion monster will be able to negate his effect, but he'll get Break Sword, negating its effect in turn, allowing him to use Dark Rebellion next turn. Not sure how long Fog Blade lasts. I've never seen one last for more than a whole turn. It is continuous, so people do compare it to Phoenix Shane, so I'm pretty sure it is locked up. And he'll just swing for game there anyways, and Solemn Strike. sealing the deal. But unfortunately, he'll lose the match. But as we saw in Game 2, what a strong first turn board he was able to throw out. And I do have some more of this deck playing, I'm pretty sure. So be looking forward to that, guys, in the future, as well as a deck profile for you. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the commentary and footage, as always, guys. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. As always, guys, thank you so much for continuing to support. It's greatly appreciated. As always, Winter Kills signing out. We'll see you in the next one.